There comes a time in every life when the noise grows unbearable, when everything outside and inside seems to collide in one great storm: responsibilities, emotions, expectations, fears all swirling, all demanding, all loud. You try to keep up, but the faster you move, the more the ground beneath you trembles. You reach for calm, but it slips through your fingers. And so you ask, quietly or desperately, how do I find peace in chaos? Let me tell you something both simple and powerful. Peace was never lost. It cannot be found out there because it never left in here. Peace is not something you chase, it is something you return to. It is the native state of your being, the silent pulse beneath the noise. Chaos, my friend, is not your enemy. It is the teacher that invites you inward. It forces you to choose not what happens, but how you meet what happens. The storm is not against you, it's for you. It's the moment life whispers, "Now remember who you are." When everything feels like it's falling apart, it's often falling into place, a deeper place, a truer place. You are not here to control the world, you are here to see clearly through it. And clarity is born not in perfection, but in presence. So the first step to peace is to stop fighting the chaos. Let it be. Don't resist what is, name it, breathe with it, observe it. Notice the sensations in your body, the tension in your shoulders, the racing of your thoughts. Do not judge them, simply witness. You are not the chaos. You are the awareness noticing it. This realization changes everything. Because when you stop identifying with the storm, you realize you've been the sky all along, vast, spacious, and untouched by the weather that moves through it. Peace is not the absence of noise. It's the presence of understanding. It's when your soul whispers louder than your fear. It's when you can look at the world spinning, yet feel anchored in something still, your own consciousness, your own truth. Take a moment right now. Close your eyes if you wish. Listen. Beneath your thoughts, beneath your heartbeat, beneath the hum of life, there it is. That quiet hum that never left. That soft awareness that's always been watching, waiting, witnessing. That's you. That's peace. The world teaches you to seek peace by fixing things, fix your situation, your relationships, your mind. But true peace is not a fix. It's a reconnection. It's remembering that nothing external can touch the essence of who you are. You can walk through noise and remain silent within. You can stand in the storm and be unmoved at your core. Peace doesn't come from running away from chaos. It comes from walking through it with open eyes and a steady heart. When the world shakes, breathe slower. When people shout, listen deeper. When fear rises, stand taller. When uncertainty hits, trust harder. Because peace is not about what surrounds you. It's about what grounds you. Let's go deeper. Let's walk further into the storm, not to be consumed by it, but to understand it. Because in understanding chaos, you understand yourself. And in understanding yourself, you awaken peace not as a moment, but as a way of being. When the world begins to spin too fast, when your thoughts become tangled in the noise of everything demanding your attention, grounding becomes your lifeline. It is not merely a technique, it is a return to the truth of who you are. To be grounded is to stand firmly in your own essence while everything else moves. It is to remember that while chaos may visit, it cannot rule. You see, life will never promise you stability on the outside. The world will keep changing, people will come and go, situations will rise and fall, but peace does not depend on what happens. It depends on how deeply you are rooted in yourself. Imagine a great oak tree. Winds come, storms rage, seasons shift, yet it remains. Its secret is not resistance, its depth. Its roots reach far beneath the surface, drinking from an unseen source. That is what grounding means for the soul. To extend your awareness beneath the surface of the mind, deep into the heart of presence, where peace flows freely. Let us begin there. Take a breath, not a shallow one, not the kind you use to survive the day, but a conscious breath. Breathe in through your nose as if you're drawing light into your body. Hold it. Feel it expand your chest, your ribs, your belly. Then exhale slowly, as if releasing all the weight you've been carrying. Again and again, each breath is an anchor. Each breath is a homecoming. This is where you start. When life feels chaotic, don't try to fix everything at once. Start by feeling your feet on the ground. Feel the solidness beneath you, the ground that never leaves you. Feel your body, the living temple of your spirit. You are not floating aimlessly. You are held. You are supported. You are here. Now notice your thoughts. They may be loud, wild, impatient. That's all right. You don't need to silence them. You need to witness them. Imagine you are sitting by a river and your thoughts are leaves floating by. Watch them pass. Some may carry anger, some fear, some confusion. Don't chase them. Don't push them away. Just observe. Because what you observe, you transcend. You are not your thoughts. You are the awareness behind them. You are not your emotions. You are the space in which they move. You are not your story. You are the consciousness that experiences it. To be grounded is to live from that space of awareness. From there, peace is not something fragile. It becomes unshakable. Because no matter what happens on the surface, the depths remain untouched. Here is a truth most people overlook. Chaos is not only outside, it is within. The noise that disturbs you most is the one echoing inside your own mind, and that noise comes from identification, identifying with every thought, every emotion, every external event, as if it defines you. But the moment you realize, this is not me, this is something passing through me, the storm loses its power. So when the world spins, pause. When your heart races, breathe. When your mind screams, listen quietly. Ask yourself, what is true right now? Not what your fears say, not what your mind imagines, but what is truly here in this moment. Often you will find that the chaos exists more in your anticipation than in reality. The present moment by itself is rarely unbearable. It is our projection of the future and the residue of the past that makes it heavy. Grounding, therefore, is the art of returning to now. Look around, right now. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel against your skin? This is life, raw and immediate. This is reality, not the story your mind tells, but the living moment unfolding right before you. Every time you come back to this awareness, you come home. But grounding is not only a practice of stillness, it is also a practice of action. When you are grounded, you act with clarity rather than reaction. You move with intention rather than impulse. You speak from truth rather than fear. Chaos may tempt you to hurry, to overthink, to control, but grounding invites you to respond with grace. You can bring grounding into every part of your life. When you wake in the morning, before you reach for your phone, place your hand on your heart, feel your pulse. Whisper to yourself, I am here, I am alive, I am safe. When conflict arises, instead of defending or attacking, breathe. Listen, let silence fill the space between words. Peace often enters where silence is allowed to exist. When uncertainty clouds your path, remember that clarity does not come from overanalyzing. It comes from trusting. The ground beneath you does not need to be fully visible for you to take the next step. True grounding is trust. Trust in yourself, in life, in something greater moving through you. The universe is not against you, it is shaping you. The chaos that challenges you today is often the pressure that forms your inner strength tomorrow. Let your roots grow deep, not into circumstances, but into consciousness. That is where unshakable peace lives. So, when you feel overwhelmed, come back to your body. When you feel lost, come back to your breath. When you feel anxious, come back to the present. And when you forget because you will gently return again, that is the practice. That is the path. Peace is not a destination at the end of chaos. It is the foundation that carries you through it. And grounding is how you find it again and again, no matter how wild the storm becomes. Remember this, chaos has no power over one who is rooted in being. The more you anchor yourself in awareness, the more the external world becomes just what it always was, a dance of temporary forms around an eternal stillness. You are that stillness. You always have been. And now, you are beginning to remember. There is a moment on the path of every awakened soul when one realizes that peace is not found in control, it is found in surrender. But this truth, though beautiful, is hard to live, because the mind, conditioned by years of fear and habit, clings to control like a lifeline. It believes that if it can just plan enough, prepare enough, protect enough, then everything will finally be safe. And yet, have you noticed? The more you try to control life, the more restless you become. The tighter you hold, the more things seem to slip away. Control promises security, but it delivers tension. It narrows your heart, blinds your intuition, and binds you to the illusion that peace can only come when everything goes your way. Surrender, on the other hand, feels like a paradox. It asks you to release the very grip you believe is keeping you afloat. It whispers, "Let go, and you will be carried." But the mind resists. If I let go, everything will fall apart. And yet, what if it's not true? What if in the falling apart, everything finally falls into place? Surrender does not mean apathy or weakness. It is not giving up on life. It is giving in to life. It is the moment you stop fighting the current and start trusting where it is taking you. It is a deep, quiet faith that says, even if I cannot see the path, I can feel the presence guiding me. There is a rhythm to life, a natural intelligence moving through every event, every relationship, every change. You see it in the seasons, in the tides, in the rise and fall of your own breath. Everything expands and contracts, comes and goes, grows and decays. Control tries to resist that rhythm, surrender dances with it. The dance between control and surrender is where peace is born. Because peace is not about choosing one over the other, it's about knowing when to act and when to release. There are times when life calls for focus, discipline, and clear intention, moments when you must stand firm and create with purpose. But there are also times when your only task is to let go, to trust that what you've planted will grow in its own season. To live in peace, you must learn this dance. Ask yourself right now, what are you trying to control that is asking to be released? Maybe it's a person, someone you wish would see you, love you, understand you. Maybe it's a plan, something you've built your hopes upon that now seems uncertain. Or maybe it's your own image, the exhausting attempt to always appear strong, capable, perfect. Whatever it is, breathe. And as you exhale, imagine loosening your grip, even slightly. Feel the relief that comes when you realize you were never meant to carry it all. Control is a burden because it assumes you must be the master of every outcome. Surrender is liberation because it reminds you that you are a participant in something vast and intelligent. The river of life does not need you to push it. It only asks that you flow with it. The truth is, you have never really been in control, not of time, not of others, not of the unfolding of the universe, but you have always been responsible for your awareness, your energy, your choices in this moment. And that is enough. That is more than enough. Surrender is not passive, it is profoundly active. It takes courage to release your expectations. It takes strength to trust when everything feels uncertain. It takes deep wisdom to stop forcing and start allowing. When you surrender, something miraculous happens. Life begins to meet you halfway. Doors open, insights arise, synchronicities appear. The flow you were chasing starts to carry you. You move not out of desperation, but out of inspiration. You act not from fear, but from clarity. This is the quiet power of surrender. It transforms chaos into choreography. What once felt random begins to make sense. What once felt like loss reveals itself as redirection. Let's be honest, surrender is not always graceful. It often begins with resistance, with tears, with the feeling of being undone. But that unraveling is sacred. Because the thread that breaks is never the thread of your soul, it's the thread of your illusion. Sometimes peace is found not by holding on tighter, but by whispering to life, "I trust you." Sometimes healing begins when you stop asking, "Why?" and start saying, "Thank you." You may not see the whole path ahead, you don't need to. You only need to take one conscious step, breathe one honest breath, surrender one small piece of fear. Life meets you there, every single time. To live surrendered is to live in partnership with the universe. It's to recognize that while you cannot command the waves, you can learn to surf them. You cannot dictate the wind, but you can adjust your sails. You cannot stop change, but you can grow roots deep enough to remain steady through it. And as you practice this balance, acting with intention, releasing with faith, you begin to taste a deeper peace. A peace that is not dependent on circumstances, but born of alignment. That peace says, I do not need to control the world to trust it. I do not need to know the future to feel safe in the present. I do not need everything to be perfect to feel whole. That is true freedom. That is the essence of surrender. So the next time life feels chaotic, don't just ask, how do I stop this? Ask instead, what is this trying to teach me about letting go? Because the storm, as fierce as it seems, is always carving a clearer channel for your peace to flow through. Control holds you in the mind. Surrender opens you to the heart. And in the heart, peace lives effortlessly. This is the dance. And when you learn to move with it, chaos loses its power. Life becomes not something to survive, but something to trust, to love, to flow with. There is a sacred stillness that exists even in the fastest motion of life. It does not depend on silence or isolation. It lives right in the middle of your busiest day, your loudest thoughts, your deepest uncertainty. It is the still point, the quiet center, that remains untouched as everything else moves. To live in peace does not mean withdrawing from the world. It means entering it fully, without losing yourself within it. It means walking through noise without becoming noise, meeting pressure without becoming tense, holding love without becoming afraid of losing it. Peace in chaos is not an escape. It is mastery. It is the ability to be both still and alive, both soft and strong. The world will not slow down for you. It will spin, shift, demand, but you can meet it differently. You can carry stillness as you move, like a candle flame that does not flicker even when the air changes around it. How? Through presence, through the sacred practice of remembering again and again that you are not the motion, but the awareness behind it. Every time you return to your breath, you return to truth. Every time you choose patience over panic, understanding over reaction, love over fear, you strengthen that still point within you. The mind will always want to chase the next thing, the next plan, the next fix, the next reason to feel safe. But the heart whispers, be here. Because here is where peace lives. Not in the past, not in the imagined future, but in this breath, this moment, this heartbeat that life has given you now. Remember, peace is not a reward for having solved everything. It is the strength that allows you to face everything. When you cultivate inner stillness, you do not become detached. You become deeply connected. You listen better, love deeper, act clearer. You become the calm presence others unconsciously seek in their own storms. And so, my friend, do not wait for life to quiet down before you find peace. Find peace and watch as life begins to quiet around you. When you wake, breathe in gratitude. When you fall, rise with grace. When you doubt, trust a little more. When the world shouts, return to your inner silence. That is the way. That is how peace lives within movement, how calm breathes through chaos, how light continues to shine even in the darkest hour. The storm will come again and again. But now you know peace is not the end of the storm. It is the I within it. It is you, awake, aware, and unshaken. So go forth, walk gently, speak kindly, breathe deeply, and wherever you are, remember, the world moves around you, but the stillness within you moves the world.